watching Cybernet with me, Lucy Longhurst. So prepare to take a great shot, climb into the ring, journey to a strange land, and take a trip to the Discworld. It's explosive. It's Cybernet. Take a look at this. Stunning, don't you think? This is the world of Outcast, a game that's already being heralded as the best adventure of the year. We first saw it at this year's E3 show, where it took pride of place on the infogram stand. And after watching some frantic action on its lovely oval screen, we just had to find someone who could tell us more about the game's plot.
Where the game gets really interesting in terms of scenario is nothing goes according to plan right at the beginning. You go onto this planet with a squad of 4 people, and when you get up to this actual world, you're by yourself, you're nowhere near the place where you were supposed to be, and there's strange people around you asking you to come and to save their planet. So this is how the game starts.
Like any typical human on an alien planet, you must investigate the world around you, learn new skills, and chat to just about everyone you meet, even the ones who look slightly peculiar.
What is Egghead?
Who are you? Where are the others?
I am Zochlin, leader of the Dolotai Guardians. What others do you talk of?
Others, like me.
We found you alone, Ulokai. No others were there.
Once you've discovered what's going on, you'll have to start adventuring. This involves completing a host of tasks, a bit of swimming and riding, and a lot of fighting. Fortunately, you have plenty of gadgets to help you on your way. We especially like the invisibility device and the amazing holographic decoy. Use the gadgets sparingly, though, because you're bound to need them throughout this vast game.
You can go anywhere you want. The adventure is non-linear, so you have the total freedom to meet whoever you want and do whatever you want to do.
Want more? Well, Outcast's graphics are based on voxels, complicated maths that can produce incredibly realistic environments without expensive hardware. Also, the game's music was performed by the Moscow Symphony Orchestra, so it's as pleasing to the ear as it is to the eye. Overall, Outcast has pushed PC gaming to a whole new level. Whether you love him or hate him, Duke Nukem is something of a celebrity in the gaming world and famous for his no-nonsense attitude towards his villains.
Something smells bad.
Sometimes Duke wears a kilt and therefore takes himself very seriously indeed, so we thought we'd show you a fun cheat at his expense. Pause the game and press R1 9 times and up. Now you'll notice that Duke has a massive head, as if he didn't have one already.
Far out. Reminds me of Woodstock.
Your cumbersome Duke will desperately try to avoid the enemy, as his oversized head makes him an easy target. That will teach him to take himself so seriously. Here's a look at a new game, the would-be FIFA beater, FA Premier League Stars. First impressions say it all, and when you take a look at this, you'll be amazed at the little bits of detail that really catch your eye. The way the players move, trap the ball and pass, it's all jolly, jolly good. Even the mighty ISS Soccer on the N64 hasn't achieved the startling levels of player realism that this game has.
Fine passing there.
You'd be forgiven for thinking that the stars in the game's title refer to the players. In fact, they're a new system for improving team performance. The better you play, the more stars you're awarded, and you can use them to improve your team's skills. Nice idea. In this early version, the players are particularly stupid, especially goalkeepers, who often let the ball pass through their bodies and straight into the goal. We're sure that this will be fixed for the game's release, and FA Premier League Stars could be the best soccer game ever.
Oh, that is
can't wait for Ready to Rumble boxing on the Dreamcast, Knockout Kings 2000 is here to fill the gap. The realistic action's been given a boost with special power-up punches that will send opponents sprawling across the canvas. Famous faces have been called in to lend the game even more weight, and you can get to grips with just about any champion that's ever lived. They even called upon the skills of former WBC and WBA champions Oscar de la Hoya and Sugar Ray Leonard to keep the action authentic. Ooh, slippers that sucker punch, Sugar.
The movie is great.
No one motion captures quite like Sugar Ray. But when the bell rings, it's time for the talking to stop and the boxing to begin. Nice features include little details like mouth shields, good body movement, and lots of hidden power moves.
That's the mouthpiece flying.
But best of all is the ability to actually step into your hero's shoes and experience the fight for yourself. With a little bit of tweaking, this boxing game could end up being king of the ring. Time to Play Grand Doll's House is a new multimedia title aimed at girls aged between 4 and 7. You explore a magic doll's house in the company of Glitter the Fairy.
Do you know what today is? It's my baby brother's first birthday. My family and I could really use your help getting ready for the party.
And there are plenty of songs to sing along to as you prepare for the big event.
There's a marvelous place that's waiting for you to explore. It's a magical mansion where your imagination can soar.
Yes, this software allows your child's imagination to soar to the dizzying heights of baking a cake or even dusting the coffee table. After a hard day's housework, what could be better than a relaxing soak in the bath?
Pop, 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 go the bubbles. It's a game of skill. Pop, 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 go the bubbles. It's a salty, soapy thrill. Pop, 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 go the bubbles. It's a salty, soapy thrill.
More thrilling than taking a bath is playing outside. Here you get to build a snowman, which is something of a relief as we fear that you may have to weed the garden or clean out the garage. If you fancy your skills at interior design, then head along to the bedroom where you're free to redecorate. Here we've gone for a fetching jungle theme. It's good to see software aimed at little girls, but we find Grand Doll's House to be a little old-fashioned and unimaginative. But at least it all ends with a good party.
Happy birthday!
Time for the chart now as Cybernet picks our top 10 hardest games ever. At 10, a game that makes even Indiana Jones nervous. It's Tomb Raider 3. Whatever you do, don't miss the boat. Grim Fandango swings in at number 9. With tackles so hard they'd fell a tree, Actua Soccer 2 gets the yellow card at 8. At 7th place, Grand Prix Legends takes us back to a time when Formula One really was seriously dangerous. It kept fingers stuck to triggers for months when it was first released. MDK still needs all your skill at 6. Whilst in Discworld, you can even have trouble opening wardrobes. Rincewine's magic runs out at 5. Cleaning up the remnants of the Jurassic period, Turok Dinosaur Hunter is at number 4. Quantum mechanics and general relativity, that's child's play compared to 9 at number 3. And at number 2, R-Type Delta shows us just how difficult side-scrolling blasters should be. But one of the hardest strategy games ever made, Commandos Behind Enemy Lines, is our number 1. another game review now, and what a game it is. Discworld Noir is a new PC adventure. The colourful world of the previous games has been replaced with a film noir atmosphere. As Luton, a private investigator, your adventure begins with a mysterious and beautiful stranger.
What can I do for you, Miss...
Mrs. Actually. And the name is Carlotta.
Okay, Mrs. Actually.
Needless to say, the game retains the distinctive humour of the Discworld novels. The stranger hires you to find a missing person, but the more you investigate, the more the plot twists and turns like a classic Humphrey Bogart movie. As in all adventure games, you need to find objects that will help you solve puzzles and progress further with your quest.
I didn't much like being jammed into a crate and loaded onto the ship, but I could think of worse fates. Like being jammed into a crate full of rats and loaded onto the ship. What's your name then, little fellow?
Collecting objects plays a much smaller role in this game than in previous Discworld adventures. Instead, the emphasis is on uncovering information about the case, which is then written down in Luton's notepad and used when interrogating suspects. Unfortunately, the Discworld is not noted for its helpful or knowledgeable citizens.
I don't suppose you've investigated the passengers on the Milka, have you?
Oh, that, well, I've been working hard, you see.
Working so hard that your ears have caught fire.
Discworld Noir is a lot easier and more enjoyable than most adventures, although if you're not a fan of the books, you may feel that there's too much dialogue. Comparisons to Grim Fandango are inevitable due to its humorous film noir style. And because of the clever and intriguing way in which the plot reveals its secrets, we feel that this game is just as good. Discworld Noir would have made a great novel, so we're lucky that it became a fabulous game instead. Okay, time for our competition now, so grab a pen. This week's prize is a PlayStation together with a copy of Siphon Filter to play on it. So pull on your spy pants and get ready to do some serious sneaking. To win this prize, just call our number and give your answer to this question. Which American boxer changed his name from Cassius Clay? Was it A, Muhammad Ali, B, Mustafa T, or C, Tommy Lee? If you think you know, call 0660 113333. Please dial carefully and don't forget to ask permission from the person who pays the telephone bill first. We'll put up... This is television's very first look at the awesome new combat game Unreal Tournament. In the previous game, Unreal was famous for its fantastic graphics and weapons. So what's different about its successor? Well, Unreal Tournament is an entirely new game. The emphasis is on head-to-head action. Players in your house, street, or from anywhere around the world can fight against you in scores of themed arenas. Capture the Flag is also here, and a host of other team games, including Assault, where your gang fights side by side to turf out your opponents from their fortress. And just look at these levels. The fast and furious action can take place almost anywhere. You can run and dodge around a wooden pirate ship, trawling across the ocean, or battle underground, springing traps on your unlucky victims. There are even levels submerged underwater where you'll have to literally swim for your life, or you can opt for the total freedom of the anti-gravitation arena. And if you want weapons, you've got them. Most of the blasters have two uses for maximum fun. Firing with the left mouse button might unleash globules of exploding plasma, whilst a right click will let out a concentrated stream of green gunge. No friends to play with, just add bots, virtual players that react exactly how a human would. With up to 16 in a game, they'll use their intelligence to run, hide, dodge, or just stand around and get shot. Unreal Tournament seems incredible. Look out for an interview with the programmer himself soon. Switching on your computer and hooking up to a modem can introduce a whole new world for you to explore. Previously on Cybernet, we've shown you how to discover the wonders of our planet by using QuickTime movies downloaded from the internet. Well, here are some more fascinating virtual tours for you to experience. If you want to be like Indiana Jones, then this excellent Egyptian-themed site will show you all you need to know about ancient Africa and the land of the pharaohs. The internet not only offers you the chance to gaze at some famous landmarks, but lets you examine all kinds of historical items too. For instance, this site allows you to climb inside an American B-17 super fortress. You can view the plane from the various positions that the flight crew would have occupied, check out the bombardier's station tucked away in the nose, or visit the pilot's cramped cockpit. Chocks away, chaps! If you'd rather chill out in one of the most picturesque cities on America's west coast, then visit the Sunshine Daydream website, where San Francisco comes to life. There are many panoramic views of the Bay Area, and some are simply breathtaking. Although you won't get a suntan sitting at your computer, surfing the net will allow you to experience all sorts of exotic locations you might not be able to visit personally. So happy traveling! Time for another outrageous review now with Bloody Roar 2 on the PlayStation. But what's a 6-foot-tall, fluffy pink rabbit doing picking a fight with a ferocious fanged tiger? Well, you're not imagining it. It's the latest novelty beat-em-up where fighting like an animal is positively encouraged. Battlers have a host of beastly brawlers to choose from. Whether you opt for a vicious lion or a tactical tiger, or for whatever reason a massive mole, you'll find the action fast, ferocious, and ultimately great fun. This isn't a Tekken 3 beta, but it is original. Every human character can turn into an animal by powering up their beast meter and letting loose. There's no real plot, the characters in their human form aren't very interesting, and the fighting techniques are far too similar. But who cares when you can power up and become a rampaging insect? And being an animal, you have some rather special moves to use, like this airborne combination. Bloody Roar 2 is both unique and well-made. And unless you want to start terrorizing zoos, this has to be the best way to battle wildlife. Not even Tarzan had this much fun. If you desire a slightly different kind of combat, you may want to wait for Destriga. Like Dynasty Warriors, it has a strong fantasy storyline and some highly explosive gameplay. However, unlike Dynasty Warriors, it might be quite good. Set around a variety of large, fully explorable 3D landscapes, you'll be able to hide behind walls, climb tall towers, or if you get a bit scared, run far away. Because of the huge levels, the combat has been divided into short and long-range attacks, allowing you to either punch or fireball your way to victory. Of course, if one mode of fighting is far easier than the other, Destriga could fail straight away. But if it gets the balance right, it should be brilliant fun.
Three, two, 1, go.
Racing through space in a hover vehicle may not sound tough, but as anyone who's played Wipeout 64 will tell you, it can be very hard indeed. To give yourself a massive advantage over your unenlightened opposition, grab a pen, because we've got some cheats that will propel you onto greatness. If you'd like a huge choice of ships, at the main menu, hold Z, L and R and press C left, C right, C up, C right and C left. Now there's no excuse for falling behind with such a fantastic array of space vehicles. Lastly, at the main menu, if you hold down Z, L and R and press C down 4 times, C right, C up and C left, Velocitar, a brand new track that's usually unavailable for selection, will appear. Attempt this track in your Piranha spaceship and there'll be no stopping you. What's smaller than a wristwatch, has 30 times the capacity of a floppy disk and promises to change the way we store pictures and information. Give up? Well, the answer is Click, a revolutionary new disk aimed primarily at laptop and electronic notebook fans. Click's small size and huge storage capacity makes it ideal for people who use computers on the move, but it also has uses for everyday consumers too. Each disc can be loaded into special digital cameras and is cheap enough to replace film. But then how many times have we heard that before?
We believe that Click could be the digital film solution in the future. Actually, currently, Agfa is working on combining the Click product with one of the digital cameras. Basically, it means that it would be a very easy-to-use, perfect memory solutions for digital cameras.
Video, music, stills, documents and information can all be stored and quickly retrieved from a Click disc. So will this new wonder development really change the way we store our data?
People are moving around a lot more frequently and they need information faster. Computers are getting smaller and smaller, so you're actually losing flexibility. What we wanted to do with Click was really offer that level of flexibility that users need.
Strange students at St Martin's College in London obviously think so. They've been busy designing clothes with special pockets which can store Click discs.
We used the actual disc, Click disc, in a number of ways in our designs. Especially in transportation, we had these sort of fun, funky little pockets which you can just slide your disc in, and it really is like a very fashionable way of carrying valuable information. Again, we have a little compact here, which comes back to the idea with Click of sharing. You pull it out, you open it up, and it's, you know, sending your friends images and really sort of sharing what things are special to you with your friends.
Not everyone will want to wear the clothes, but because of the Click disc's user-friendly nature and huge capacity for storing data, they could soon be finding their way into all of our cameras, computers and homes sooner than we think. That's it for this fun-filled show. Don't forget you can always try our competition to win a console. Until next time, take a look at the incredible deep space adventure Omega Boost. Strap yourself in for the ride of your life. Watch Cybernet.
I must make